forward to this.
Okay, welcome back to Campfire Chronicles. It's just Jimmy, John, and Charlie this week. But we did DeathHouse this week, as voted on by you, the listeners of this show, on our social media. We thank you for voting, or do we? As this week we did DeathHouse. DeathHouse has been touted as things like the Expendables of Horror, an ensemble of awesome, the horror movie cast you've been waiting for. These are things that have been said by real websites.
Shit.
And in reviewing this film, we, on the other hand, I think the headlines of our reviews would be something like, why was this made?
Yeah.
What was this movie about? How did this happen?
There's definitely a lot of what is happening now.
What a waste of talent.
Yes.
This movie is composed of some of the most popular horror actors and actresses of all time. Of all time. In one location. A prison. Kinda.
Kind of we think it's a futuristic prison.
This movie, like, I don't understand what happened in this movie.
My favorite part of the night is waiting for Jimmy to do the summary of this movie.
Like, there's no summary of this film.
Jim, this is the first time I've ever heard you not be able to summarize one of the movies that we watched.
Like, there's no direction to this film.
There's no plot, really.
The power in the jail goes off, and one group, led by Kane Hodder, just kind of work their way down to what they think is the basement to get out.
Half of this movie is Kane Hodder leading this group of convicts walking through dark halls. That is a good 20 minutes of the movie.
I think they're after the 5 evils the whole time, but I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why he thinks to go down there to find them.
I'm impressed that you can even identify that plot element, John.
I'm impressed that he remembered the name of the 5 evils.
They didn't seem very evil.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, Bill Moseley,
like
Michael
godlike.
Berryman, and some other people. Like, what was that?
They seemed like
Some
they were
people-
like aliens almost, and they're like, worship us instead of God.
Yeah.
Is that what they were talking about?
You know,
I don't know if it was to worship them as if they were aliens or to worship them because they're like together, they're basically Satan. I don't know.
You know, I think the aim of the
But then there's another
producers-
group of Father of Satan, Satan, and Son of Satan.
They're
The
false.
3 Satans.
I really think the aim of the producers of this movie was just to get as many prominent horror names as they could and stick them in the movie for a minimal amount of time. Very short, brief, most of them very brief film appearances. Pay them enough to get them to show up and then promote the movie as if it is this great coming together of all these horror icons. And that is not what this movie is. It is total waste of talent. It has no discernible story or plot. It's just a mishmash of a lot of ideas, and it's a shame because there's probably the germ of an idea there, of a good idea about having a prison that houses these evil entities or monsters or serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have done something with it, and it could have been I think it could have been a terrific maze or a haunted house story where the power goes out and these people escape. But it was so totally fucked up that it changed Jason X from my least favorite Kane Hodder movie.
Wow.
Now there's a new one that I have that's my
I wonder if
least
that's even-
favorite.
I wonder if that's a deeper dig because he acts in this film. Like I think he tries more in this movie, and
and he does have a screen. He has a presence. He has a
it's
screen
definitely
presence
none
without
of
the mask.
it's not the cast fault. Like as far as
No.
like all them go, it's
I don't know, dog. I feel like it's everybody's fault. Like this movie is so bad, it should have never been written. Like what was written?
It was,
What-
I don't think it was
yeah.
written. I think they just threw it together and made it up as they went along.
Like what?
They had a vague idea. But
very big.
nobody really sat down and wrote a coherent script. They just wrote.
There's
like-
no real dialogue in this film. Like they don't talk about anything.
Well, there is some speechifying in there where they talk. They do these long speeches, and you still don't know what the hell's going on.
They probably got high and just wrote a bunch of shit down.
Yeah,
Listened to death metal and just wrote some shit down.
There's even a point where the two
It's like a goddamn Rob Zombie
those two
all-star
people-
cast.
Those two people were talking in the shower, but instead of like focusing on them talking, the
Yeah, they
camera's
never
like
banged.
panning to their like tattoos,
Yeah.
which don't even come into freaking play.
And they never have sex, to the best of my
Right,
knowledge.
They
Disappointing.
should have at least just done it in the shower.
Yeah, they should have banged.
Right.
Give us something to watch.
Yeah.
I know, really.
Something that draws back in. Like we need like a third quarter bang with those two to just try to get us back in to finish out the movie because there was like what was I don't get why they went like is DeathHouse
Yeah.
real or is it just virtual?
I think part of it was virtual. They even talked about it being virtual reality and
Yeah, see, I thought the whole like complex was virtual reality
Yeah, they're wearing those goggles.
when they were like going in, unless they like physically had it, but then each room is virtual to the inmates. But at the same time, it's like, why would you want to cater to the inmates and give them
yeah.
this reality where they get to, I'm guessing, kill people in their little realities? Because that's what
Well,
they had said, hey,
she
do.
said at the beginning that they wanted to have like their natural environment to convince them that they were in like their natural environments.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Because they're trying to
Rehabilitate them.
they're
or
trying to eliminate evil. They're trying to eradicate. So they're studying them and imprisoning them and doing experiments on them to try to eradicate evil from the world. Which, Jesus. I mean, it's a terrible. It just was not. I feel like I'm describing Jason X again. It just was a
But at
total
least
waste.
you could describe Jason X. I feel like with this, you
Yeah.
can't really.
No, the evidence, the clear evidence is Jim can't even begin to describe what's going on. And for people that listen to the podcast, they know what a good job you do every week of going through what happened in the movie step by step, and you can't do that. And John and I, what's funny is John and I were talking behind your back when Jim will never be able to summarize this movie. So we're gonna see what happens when Jim's up, and you did exactly what we thought you'd do.
Wow. I mean, this has got me.
No, we did it. The people who voted this in got you.
I don't understand. It's a total name movie.
It is. I think that's what convinced people.
Why they voted, because
Exactly.
this movie's cast is so much better than Eight-Legged Freaks, but Eight-Legged Freaks is way better.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Tremendously better.
Yeah.
But these people, again, they were just drawn into this project and given a very short cameo. They probably did a day's work, if that.
I feel like they did a full, like, wrong way of writing this movie, and the fact that it was, like, an idea of, hey, let's get all these people and do this movie.
Right.
What's it about? Well, let's get all the people first. It's
Right.
like, we got
because
the
that'll
cast.
draw some interest, you know.
And
You'll
then
get people.
Yeah. And then the rest of it was just like an afterthought. It was
Because
like,
now that you mention
throw
it,
'em all
I
over.
do
The plot
remember.
summary of this film is after a exclusive tour to a state-of-the-art prison, a group of civilians tries to survive as they travel through a death house that has an army of super convicts in it.
Well, they didn't seem like just normal
Well,
civilians because
if
they
that-
were like.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were both killers because it kept cutting to them like killing people.
That's a simplification of the plot, and if they stayed with the simple elements of that, that might have been a fairly good movie. But they complicated it by throwing all of this weird crap that you don't know what's going on, and
the
flashbacks.
girl apparently worked for Kane Hodder, and then she because she killed that lady and the kid, but then she apparently shot him and caught him, and she's just a civilian that's going to this prison.
I don't know, dog. This movie made my head hurt. It made my head hurt.
I feel like even if I watch this by myself with no distractions, I still won't know what the hell's going on.
No, because, I mean, we were all collectively trying to make sense of it. At least one of us would have hit on some coherent
I thought of the
about
five
what's going
evils.
on.
I feel like
The five evils, I got that. But
Well, let's ponder and think about if we want that to be part of our virtual scare park. But right now,
this usually takes us about a half an hour to get to. I think it's me. We've been talking about it for about 10 minutes.
Oh, is this the epic scene of them going down the elevator shooting their guns at nothing?
it's Mudvayne. We'll get to that in a
King
minute.
Hodder walking
We
down,
need-
leaving the convicts through the dark hall.
We need to pick. We need to pick the mood of this thing up. And right now, you hear that music. That means it's convention coverage time, and the Horrific Network has been granted press passes. All of us have been granted press passes to attend Silicon Valley Comic Con. Not even arguably the biggest Comic Con in Northern California. Some of the guests, and I do say some of because the list is growing every day and there's a shitload of people. But let's start. David Fielding, Zordon from the Power Rangers. He's with a lot of the cast of Power Rangers. Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk. James and Oliver Phelps, the Weasley twins in the Harry Potter saga. Brian Harry, creator of Star Wars' BB-8. Paul Blake, Star Wars' Guido. Adam Savage from Mythbusters. The entire cast of the Terminator franchise, highlighted by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. The cast of Gotham.
Yeah, I like that too.
Jason Momoa, Aquaman. And if that wasn't enough for us to get excited, John, Saturday at about 1:30, the panel, it's never really as good as the panels at Sinister Creature Con because it's not our thing, but this will be a panel just as big as Sinister Creature Con. In my opinion, when we get to see the panel of Stone Cold Steve Austin, that is a big deal. The Terminator thing is a big deal. The Weasley twins is a big deal. There's a Universal Monsters panel and a Haunted Mansion panel and some other things that'll be cool throughout the weekend. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, keep in mind, Horrific Network, we have press access. We will be in the front of every panel, recording it so we can bring it to you. Highlighted by Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there's that. Back on track. Yeah, there's a scene on DeathHouse that the guys who are seemingly the good guys fall like 19 stories, maybe more, probably like 39
it's supposed
stories.
to only be 9 stories. Because on the
But why are they
Right.
why are they shooting? Charlie, what are they shooting at, and why are they shooting it?
Why are they shooting the movie?
I mean, that's
Because that's my first thought when you say that.
That's a question worth asking, I guess.
Jim, nothing in this movie really makes a lot of sense, and that's why.
Oh, Abby is here. Hold on, let's see if we can get Abby on.
It's so
as
bad.
well.
God.
I have my ideas about the elevator scene.
What is your?
I think what they're trying to do is because while they're sliding and shooting, they kept showing old clips at the beginning when the convicts were attacking
them dying
people.
or something?
It was apparently them getting shot by them. But it was like that was obviously taking place in like an open area while they're in an elevator shaft. So it's like I don't know what the hell was happening.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming that's what they're
Abby,
trying
can you
to
hear
do.
me?
Good for you, John.
Abby, can you hear me?
I tried very hard to give some
your phone connection
where I could find it in.
I'm trying to talk to you.
Well, we were trying to make sense of the movie the whole time.
On this pod. I just want you to say something, but no, you're not. You're not on this show tonight. Goodbye, Abby.
Darn. I wanted to see what Abby had to say
Go
about
on.
DeathHouse, if she watched it.
Good night.
Which
Can I get an applause?
Nothing.
Can I get an applause? Thank you.
Yes, Jim, that was good.
I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling it from Charlie.
Well, let's just put it this way: that singing was appropriate for a movie like DeathHouse. You know, it was it fit the mood
Charlie.
of the whole.
Appreciate it.
The whole thing, the whole night.
The whole night. Jesus Christ. Well, John, on the plus side, they do go to that one scary room, and it's pretty scary. Like that chick. What's about the girl with the skull top of her face?
Yeah,
like,
and she was like
it's a hollowed out skull,
and she was like screaming into a microphone, so it could be heard like throughout the prison.
That's fucked up.
Like that scene, that one
That's
scene.
pretty fucked up, dog.
That was good.
Very
great
up.
Practical effects. I thought, didn't you,
Yes.
John? You know,
like walking through that in a haunted house would be terrifying.
Oh,
it
God,
would be.
And that was
super scary.
So that's why I'm saying that's a waste of talent, because if they had made that as you know, kind of maybe the focus of this prison were these creatures that were down in this one room, but they just didn't put it together. I mean, we were talking about how it always starts with the story. No story. No.
There literally was no story. That was crazy. That was an hour and a half.
There was a concept, but there was no story.
That's weird.
And there was the one room that was just they like threw as much gore and creepiness all into the one room that was like. Because there was even that one that like stood up, but it was facing in the corner and stood up, and it was that part was just creepy looking.
It was creepy.
It was eating that alien baby. What was up with that thing that was running down in the basement? Did we ever find out what the hell that was?
No, you know what?
It ran across the hallway. Remember, and they play like that little.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and they never explained what that was, or
had the things like hanging off of it when it ran by.
It was like a superimposed thing.
Yeah. And Kane Hodder's it was not bothering Kane Hodder's crew as they just walked out.
They were just walking like they were.
That's
like
all
they
the
meant
movie.
business.
I don't get it. Like, and then there is a brawl at the end for like 30 minutes
in the dark.
It's just like, but what are you even fighting for? What are you fighting for at that point? And then Kane Hodder faces what are 5 gods essentially, and he burns up.
Because he thinks he's immortal and he's not. But they really are immortal. So.
Yeah. I think it was something about a reference to earlier when they were talking about those bodies that were hanging and there was a pile of dust and they're like, well, what happened with that one? And it was like, oh, well, we can choose who gets the gas.
Right.
But what does the gas even do?
I
The gas disposes of the bodies, right? Because it
I
causes
lost
them
me.
to deteriorate from the inside out.
Mhm.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. These are all things that happen in the movie that have no coherent attachment to each other. They're just all these little things that happen. And
Especially Tony Todd's role. We were still trying to figure that out.
Tony Todd. So he's like.
I would like to know how much Tony Todd was paid for that, because I imagine it was a good payday for doing virtually nothing.
He finger bangs the chick at the beginning, like he
In her
pulls something.
stomach.
He pulls something out of her,
Right,
and then puts her in a van.
right.
And then at the end of the movie, she's like, "Oh, I'm Susan," and he's like, "Oh, whatever," and he shuts the van door.
Yeah. And it says radioactive. What does it say? Something about radioactivity on the.
Well, I think that was a different girl in the back.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a different girl.
So I don't know if he's just picking up girls, taking them out to this farm and being like, hey, look at this, and then closes his truck on them. I don't know.
He had no. There's no logical reason why he was in the movie or started the movie, but John was right. John said he'd appear for like 30 seconds at the beginning of the movie.
He was not instrumental
in for the end shot. No, he had nothing to do with what happened.
He talked about farm.
That I think.
And apparently there's radiation.
Not instrumental whatsoever to anything.
No.
And I still want to know who attacked that one guy and implanted the EMP that set this whole thing in motion, because they don't even talk about
they
that
don't even
either.
explain that.
Apparently it was a zombie Nazi kid. We'll never see again.
Was that Son of Satan who did that?
What?
The whole EMT or EMP?
No, this happened while everyone was still locked up. That's how the whole thing started, was some kid, like, attacked that guard. Remember, ripped him open and then put the device inside of him and put the guts back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an EMP device. So we don't even know who put that in and set it off.
On the plus side, the movie did have Felissa Rose in it, and she's always...
She wasn't wearing anything revealing, though, Charlie.
No, that's true, but she always has that kind of personality, even in this role that she had as a doctor or whatever she had, where she just looks like she'd be fun to hang out with, you know?
I don't know. Like, this movie's... So, it's just... 1 out of a 10.
John and I talked about breasts with her at the last con, so...
Yeah.
Scale 1 out of 10, I give this thing a 0.
I agree with that.
Oh, I go below 0. We go sub-0 on this one.
Like, this thing didn't make sense.
It was a rough watch. Like,
it was.
It was boring.
When you said it was 2.5 hours long, I thought, I've probably been watching this for 2.5 hours. And then you said it was 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it seemed like 2.5 hours.
Yes, it did.
Like, yeah, I don't understand how bad this was. This was not a good film. Like I said, I'm glad Andrew and his mustache are not here this week, because all I would have to listen to is how bad this thing is. That's all I would have to listen to. How bad is it?
Yeah.
It's so bad. I can't believe we sat and watched this. Well, I get it, because this one was bad.
He'd stay awake for this one, though.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
John, what do you give this movie? 0?
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlie?
-2.
Well, let's take a look at what we have in our virtual scare park right now, going into this week.
This podcast.
Superstition, fear, and jealousy.
Starting with our completed attraction/ride category, the Ecto 1. Step aboard, fight some ghosts with the Ghostbusters. La Llorona River Cruise. Step aboard a boat, drive through a moat, you hear her cry, apple pie, I don't know. Then we have the Crypt Keeper Coffin Ride. The Reanimator
Sorry.
the Reanimator Dark Ride Campus Tour. The roller coaster from Final Destination 3, and without question, the marquee of the ride category this year, Tom Savini's Motorbike Adventure, as you storm the mall, along with Tom Savini from Dawn of the Dead.
Hell yeah.
So that's all just ride/attraction.
I think stepping in the park, that's one of them first.
Tom Savini's
Oh
Motorbike.
yeah. Do we have the escape room as on the ride list too?
The what?
Can we add an escape room?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Exit Escape. The escape room, the Lost Kingdom of Exidia, was the final attraction. You are absolutely correct. So you can sign up. You have to sign up RSVP online to reserve your spot each night. That our Horror Nights is in business. We'll have reservations throughout the night. You have to RSVP early. We recommend doing so at least 2 weeks ahead of time of your visit. Scare Zones though. 2 Charlie specials. The 2 out of the 5 Scare Zones thus far. Pet Cemetery 2019 and The Last Dragon with Joe Bob Briggs. We have 5 out of the 10 mazes announced. First and foremost, we have La Llorona.
Best horror film of the year.
We then have, voted on by the fans, Jason Takes Manhattan. So it's speechless.
Charlie's excited about that one now.
We then
It's
have
looking a whole lot better tonight.
Terrifier and Hellraiser. Number 2 and 3 out of the 4 icons for this year. We then have Tales from the Crypt and Sardou's Nightmare Theater.
Theater of the Macabre.
That was a stage show that we decided. So that's where we are. John, do you think that this film deserves a spot
No,
as anything
nothing.
in the virtual scare part?
No,
Nothing.
because even designing a haunt, you still need somewhat of a story to kind of follow, and this was just all over the freaking place. I mean, besides that one room that we talked about, I don't see anything else you could really use without it being just seen like it's completely jumbled and nothing makes sense.
What about a scare zone?
No.
Charlie, do you see it as anything?
I think it deserves a spot. But the spot is in the entrance of the park where you dig a big hole and put every single copy that was ever made of this movie in it and bury it. And that would be the spot for me in our virtual horror.
Oh my
Park.
god. That was amazing. That was worth watching this movie.
I even gave Jimmy a look of concern, like, is Charlie really going to put this in the park?
Wow, Charlie, that was pretty amazing.
Thank you, Jeff. It was heartfelt.
I could tell there was a lot of emotion,
There
and
was.
that was a straight up just. I'm not going to sugarcoat this type of a statement you just made, Charlie.
Thank you, Jim. I'm actually going to have to go home and watch a good horror movie to kind of wash out my brain and
Interesting.
just to get all the remnants of whatever
The bad
memories or thoughts I have about this movie out. I'm going to have to clean it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm very
Clear it out.
excited to be going to Midsummer Scream with this in the back of my head right now.
When is Midsummer Scream?
This weekend.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Leaving in Friday morning. So I guess
Cool.
this morning.
Wow.
Damn,
You're
tomorrow
leaving
morning.
this- Wow, tomorrow morning. Cool.
Yeah. So we're going to head up. And we're going to be there Saturday all day for the whole event. And then at night they're doing their Grim Grinning Gala. And then Sunday we'll be there all day. And then Sunday night we're even going to help with some teardown for the Hall of Shadows and everything. And then we'll come back home later Monday. But we're going to meet up with some of the sliders from Queen Mary. And we're going to slide with them at Chapman Sports Complex and everything. But it was just really cool of Midsummer to send us tickets, me and Ash, for Higbee Horror Haunt. And it's just really cool kind of getting that recognition from somewhere and being offered
Well deserved.
tickets. Yeah, it's really cool. So for us, we're really excited about that. And thanks to Midsummer for doing that. We appreciate it.
That's
That is
super
terrific.
cool. Do you want to record whatever you do?
Yeah, we're going to be recording pretty much most of it, and there's so much to do that it's like it would be hours and hours of recording. Last year when we went, it's 2 days, and 2 days is not enough for how much you could do there.
Yeah, I think that's true of most conventions, big conventions.
It's amazing.
The answer to this is that no, it should not be part of our virtual scare part.
Yeah.
Charlie, a big sigh of relief from Charlie right now. Even though he knew that it wasn't going to be it, he still had to take a sigh of relief,
I did.
as it was unanimous that no, this was not.
The sigh of relief is because I never have to mention this movie again or think about this movie or talk about it.
Do you think
again.
this movie is forgettable, or do you think this will always be in the back of your head now?
No, unfortunately, I know even though I'm going to bury it literally in the back of my head and in our virtual scare park, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that because because it's going to come out at times when I don't want it to.
Like when you're watching a good movie.
When I'm watching a good movie. All right.
And you're going to be like, man, this scene was like from DeathHouse. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Relive that.
Damn, man. That's. I mean, there's a lot of disdain in his voice.
There is.
I think Charlie wants some answers from the fans as to why this
I
was
do.
picked.
I do. I respect the fans, but I'd also like to know how in the hell could you recommend this movie?
Over it. Like,
You have changed my life, and not in a good way.
Have you seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
I have seen A-League.
Do you enjoy that movie?
Yes, I do. I think that's a good movie. I like
Way
that.
better choice than what we got.
Oh, yeah. Not even in the same league. Not even in the same ballpark.
Not even close, huh?
No.
Not even close. It's like watching a bunch of kids play on the playground and watching a major league team. That would be the difference between the two.
Wow. It's a lot of shade from Charlie tonight.
I'm throwing as much as I can. I'm trying to cover that with as much darkness and blackness as I can. So
I mean, the only thing you could say is the Kana Hodder coming back to Sinister Creature Con in October. What if that happened?
he is coming back?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying, what if?
okay, okay. Gotcha.
Damn, Charlie, about having a heart attack at the mention of having to deal with Kane.
Tony Todd will be there, so we can always have a little conversation.
We're probably going to have to start up that rivalry real soon. It's already kind of started tonight. Like,
Tony
Yeah, but Candyman he's got a good enough rep from Candyman.
He does. I mean, he did the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
You know?
But you hated him in this movie, Charlie.
Well, no, he wasn't in it actually enough to hate him in it. I hated the character he played because I didn't know why he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Tony Todd, you can't really, like John was saying, you can't fault the actors because they're... The only reason you could fault them is that they were really just taking the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were just taking a payday. And, how can you blame them for that either? But maybe choices, better choices.
Choices.
Damn,
Choices.
man.
Jim,
I'm glad this podcast has happened around the time of our anniversary. These are this podcast happening around our 5-year anniversary. This is going to be one of those ones that we pull back up until the 10-year anniversary. There's no question. Horrific Network throwback segments. This episode is on paper. On paper, you wouldn't think that much about it. Another podcast on another day.
right.
Shorthanded, checking out a poser movie. It's not going to be that exciting. Little do you know, you turn that thing on, and Charlie's dropping one-liners making you crack up with us. If we're dead and gone, and you're from Jupiter and you're listening to this right now, you're welcome. Go to Earth.
Or if you're from Venus.
Or if you're from Venus. Go to Earth and look up the Horrific Network on a platform called Google. And you'll see who we are. I don't even know where I was going with that.
That's what that movie's done. It's even made us start jumping around. We're not even following a story or anything.
This movie has...
We need like a mental animal.
Oh,
We
This
do.
movie
need a
has...
reboot for sure.
We need something, man.
This movie has bewitched us.
So scatterbrained right now. It's
John said during the movie it was better than it was worse than The Sand. And The Sand is pretty bad.
mm-hmm.
But at least The Sand had a narrative story.
Yeah.
There was a clear beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
You knew what the crisis was. You knew what the conflict
You
was.
can make fun of how stupid the people were.
Yeah.
It was.
But at least it had a direction.
Yeah, it had a direction, and we had fun making fun of it.
Yeah.
This though.
This was rough.
We are 3 diehard horror fans who love the good, the bad, and the ugly of
Yes.
horror, right?
Yes.
We couldn't figure out what the hell, between us collectively, what the hell was going on with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think if we sat down right now and gave ourselves a half an hour to write a script, we could turn out something that was better than what we just watched.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I don't argue with that statement. So next week, we on Campfire Chronicles, we will have 2 episodes of Campfire Chronicles next week. Tuesday, which will be Wednesday for you listening to this, we will be doing Charlie's pick, Welcome to Hell House.
The Legend of Hell House.
The Legend of Hell House. And then what will air on Friday will be Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, live from Riverbank. In case you haven't heard yet, we are officially leaving Riverbank. So there are only 2 more meetups to take place at
Not
Riverbank.
because we don't like Riverbank. We love Riverbank.
No, we do like
And there may be
Theater is great.
some cases where we do a Riverbank meetup if it's playing there and not where we are going.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or if
2
it's
more
blocked.
meetups, or if it's sold out, or whatever. Or if it's one that merits seeing it like on an IMAX screen or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will be leaving Galaxy in 2 more meetups. The finale of this season will be the finale of Galaxy. That's why we're going back to Cool Hand Luke's one last time good or bad. We're doing it one more time. If you RSVP, you get a red balloon, Pennywise balloon, and it all culminates this chapter. The meetup phase 1 of the Horrific Network culminates back at Cohen Luke's for an It movie 2 years later for our 5th year anniversary. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That
I was
is
just
cool,
saying that
yeah.
too. It's like it's funny how that worked out that way.
Nice symmetry there.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, phase 2 of the meetups takes place. Are you ready? October 30th. As we host at the Historical State Theater, John Carpenter's Halloween. Hosted by the Horrific Network.
When is that, Jim?
October
Wednesday.
30th. The day
October
before
30th.
Halloween.
Wow.
It's a Wednesday.
I'm going to have to be there for that one.
We will be taking new steps in the direction of that because of our partnership with the state and now the creation of Regal Unlimited as we transition to Modesto meetups, our native town at the Regal Theater with the Regal Unlimited plan. Too good to pass up, which means we will be doing more meetups to try to meet more of you, maybe more art house movies like Midsummer. We may have done one for that if we had Regal Unlimited at that time. And even if it's 2 or 3 people or 35 people, we will, try to do it with that plan. $18 a month to see unlimited movies, and you can see multiple movies a day. That
Well, I don't think the 18 includes Modestos.
we're the 21.
Yeah, the 21 does.
Um,
But still,
that's 2 movies.
yeah. Like I said, I think I'd pay
So if you see
$40 for a pass like that.
when MoviePass was in existence and
Once a
working,
week.
Sure.
when MoviePass was in existence and working, I saw every movie that was in the theater.
Yeah, we were going pretty much every night.
Yeah.
And then it made it kind of cool that you couldn't go see the same thing again because then you were kind of, it made you go see other
Other
stuff.
choices.
Yeah.
Things you normally wouldn't see. I mean, otherwise I'd go see Avengers every night.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week we will have those 2 episodes. Be on the lookout. John and I are about to turn around and do the next episode of Hauntcore History. We're diving into Great America tonight.
What do we still have to fill on the virtual scare part? How many more spots and then how many more weeks do
So we have 5 more houses and 3 more scare zones.
And how many more weeks? We got 8 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Or it'll be the highest no has to get substituted. We're done at chapter 2. So we're pulling out reject houses because we couldn't fill it because we're too fickle about something. The one that came closest goes in. But we're not doing 2 shows. We're not doing a September 5th show. I need some time off before October.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could just discuss 8-legged freaks right now.
That'll be one of the highest for sure. That's on deck right now to come in if it's not filled would be 8-legged freaks.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a problem. I foresee Charlie's House going in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Scary Stories is probably going to go in some capacity. I think that it will go in some capacity.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised this didn't. I didn't think this was going to be a bad movie at all. I thought for sure this would go in. So, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Like I said, John and I are about to do that episode, and that'll be out for you next week as well for you to enjoy. So, stay spooky, and we will continue to bring you the haunt coverage.